Y'all, oh my gosh. Hi, y'all. Hi. Okay, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Y'all, um, I recently, well, not, it's been a minute. Like, what is it? July now? I'm filming this July 1st, to be exact. July 1st. But yeah. So I have officially an hour before I have to do something. So I'm gonna try to not speed up the video. I want to give y'all all the details as much as possible, but I do have something else I have to do. So yeah. So first of all, I'm going. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Micaiah, and by the title of this video, I am talking about my Navy experience. I want to say this, and I'm going to put this at the beginning and the end of the video. This is my disclaimer now. 1, I am not in the Navy anymore. 2, this is my experience. I will never, and I mean never, ever, ever be that person who tells you like, oh, don't join. No, it's your life, boo. I am just here to talk about my experience. So I'm going to talk about the MEPS process all the way down to my last day in the Navy. Certain parts I'm going to kind of like speed up because it's not like, I personally don't want to talk about it. So yeah, let's get into the video. So I joined, okay, so first of all, I will be turning 20 July 20th, 20 on the 20th, period. Yeah, I am currently 19. Let's start off with that. I graduated high school in 2022. So 2022, class of 2022, period. Okay. So, I knew that I didn't want to go to college. I knew that I just didn't want to go to college. Like, I had been applying to scholarships, and I'm not even gonna lie, I did get a couple of scholarships. However, I knew I did not want to go to college. Me personally, I just knew I didn't want to do that. But at the same time, I didn't know what else I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do after high school. Like, I had so many ideas, but I just didn't see myself like fully doing it, like pursuing it as a career. And so I was in a bad place. Like I had no motivation. Like, I was just kind of lost in a sense. Like, so yeah, so in July, I believe, it was July, the idea of me going to the Navy was brought up. Like, me going to the military. Me going to the military was brought up. I believe, well, not I believe, it was definitely my parents. My parents suggested it, and at first I'm like, the military? Like, come on, look at me, bro. I don't even work out. Like, me, the military? Like, but you know, I said, why not? Because I don't have nothing else that I'm doing, so why not? So, I ended up, I reached out to a recruiter. Personally, and this is so cliche because literally majority people in the Navy tells you this all the time. I was going to join the Air Force at first. So I was considering the Air Force. However, my dad ended up doing like his own research, and he was talking to people, and he was like, no, like, the Air Force is not where it's at. Like, the Air Force, and he was just telling me like the Navy is better. And I'm like, the Navy is better? But like, you know what? If the Navy better, like, okay, by all means. So I ended up reaching out to a Navy recruiter. What was his name? Am I allowed to say his name? We're gonna have it. I think he retired anyway. Okay, his name was Chief Williams. He was a chief. At the time, like, chief, petty officer, none of that, like, it didn't mean nothing to me. But yeah, he was a chief. So Chief Williams. Yeah, I think that was his name. Yeah, Chief Williams. Okay, so I reached out to the recruiter. He came over to my house and he talked about like the Navy, and I was like I'm just in my head like, bro, it don't matter what you say, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna just join, because what else is there to do? Like, I'm gonna just join just cause. So I ended up like talking to him, and maybe like a week or 2 later I ended up signing I don't remember this part, if I'm being honest. I know it was July, and it was like closer to August. No, it was like July, August, like literally, yeah, it was around there. So I'm like cool, whatever. So boom, I ended up I ended up like going to MEPS and like not going to MEPS, going to like the recruiting office and doing all of that, taking the ASVAB, all of that. Boom. We're gonna fast forward because honestly I can't remember. So I did MEPS and obviously I got qualified. So yeah, I did that. Then that is when my ship out date, because they asked me, they was like, so when do you want to ship out? I said, I want to ship out as soon as possible. And I ended up shipping out September 13th, 2022. Now, hold on though. Okay, so when it came down to picking my rate, so if you don't know, a rate in the military, let me take this ponytail holder off. I feel like that looks so tacky. A rate in the military is pretty much your job in the military. So my rate, I was a CS. A CS stands for culinary specialist. I know it used for it was a couple of people who commented on one of my old Navy videos and they was like CS. They used to go under a different name like mess decks, something, but y'all, the new abbreviation is CS, culinary specialist. So I said, and the reason why I chose to be a CS was simply because that was something I was familiar with. I was familiar with cooking. My mom had taught me how to cook. I was cooking in the household already. So I said, like, why not? Like, I'm already familiar with it. That right there, I'm not even gonna lie. That was my biggest mistake. I'm not even gonna lie. That was my biggest mistake. But yeah, so I ended up being a culinary specialist. Cool. Go to MEPS, do the process, like you do the hotel thing, the hotel part where you like, if I'm not mistaken, the way my process went is I did the ASVAB that one day. The next day I shipped. I did my ASVAB. I signed my contract. The next day I was at the hotel about to ship out. It was something like, it was like, what? But so yeah. Okay, so September 13th, that's when I shipped out. So I shipped out September 13th. Boom. We're gonna talk about boot camp. Okay. Y'all, so when they say the night of arrivals, trust and believe it is the night of arrivals. Like, they don't care if your flight is at 10 a.m. You're getting to boot camp at nighttime. Like you're getting there at nighttime. Cool. So nighttime of arrival. So we get on, they picked us up from the airport. We on the bus. They take us, cause it's only like 20, like the airport to the boot camp is only like 20 minutes away, if I believe. It's like something. Yeah, it's real close. So yeah, so we on the bus, then we get off. So then we get to the boot camp and we get off the bus, and immediately they were yelling. They was like, get off the bus, don't step on the flags, Y'all, if you go to Navy boot camp, do not step on the flags. Do not step on the flags, bro. I personally didn't step on the flags, but I seen people step on the flags, and when I tell you, they chewed them out. If I'm not mistaken, sorry, y'all, I got a notification. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they changed it where they can't yell at you when you're in the Pearl Harbor. Somebody let me know if that's true, because that's what I heard, because I'm going to tell you how I heard that. But anyways, yeah. So they was like, don't step on the flags. Get off the bus. Don't step on the flags. Don't step on the flags. Yeah, don't step on the flags, guys. When you go to Navy boot camp, do not step on the flags. Period. Okay, so then you get in there and you line up, and there's like 2 rows, and so pretty much you're facing someone. And then as soon as everybody gets in there, they tell you got 30 seconds to make a phone call. Y'all, why? Now my light died. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that was ghetto. But I think we're gonna keep going. I'm sorry about the lighting, y'all, but at least y'all can still see my face. Maybe if I turn myself, okay, I'm gonna turn myself this way. But dang, now I need to figure out how I'm gonna set myself up. I'm sorry. My light died. I'm gonna keep going though. The light is not that bad, y'all. The light is not that bad. So yeah, so where was I? Oh, so they give you 30 seconds to call the phone. Why? I'm convinced. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, my mom did not pick. My mom did not pick up the first time I called. I had to call her again. I think. Or maybe that, you know, sometimes how you like think it's your memory, but it's somebody else's memory. I don't know. I remember it was a couple of people who moms did not pick up. And that's not funny, but that's not funny. But I was just like, dang. No, my mom picked up. It was somebody else. It was a couple of people who mom did not pick up. And I was just like, dang, my bad. Like, that's kind of sad. I'm sorry. So yeah, I called my mom and like I told her, like, Mom, they only giving me 30 seconds. I just want to let you know I arrived. Because that's all you supposed to really call them for. Like, let them know you arrived. So I called her. I said, yeah, I arrived. Boom. Do my I love yous. Hung up. Boom. So then they take us to like, I believe, they take us through the whole process of like getting certain parts of the uniform. So when you first get to boot camp, they call it P days. P days stands for processing days. That's where you do you fill out your paperwork, you do, you take all your tests, you get your shots. That's what you do in P days. And when you do P days, you stay at Pearl Harbor. At the same time, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I want to do this video, but at the same time, there's like certain stuff that I just want y'all to experience on your own. Like, I want y'all to, you know, character development for real. So yeah, so that's what we did. Then after P days is, sorry. This video might be all over the place and I am so sorry, y'all. That's just the way I talk. Like, my mind. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So, night of arrivals. So you get there at night and they keep you up for 72 hours. Some people, that's no problem for them. Other people, you start falling asleep in them classes, or when it get real slow and real quiet, and you start falling asleep, just know somebody gonna come in there and chew you out. They gonna chew your ass out if you start falling asleep during the 72 hours, okay? You gonna get chewed out. But anyways, yeah. So after P days, that's when you go to you're placed in your division. So your division is pretty much your group until the end of boot camp, unless something happened. I'm gonna get into that later. So my original division was 416. I love y'all. If y'all watching my videos, first of all, I appreciate y'all for watching my videos. But 416, y'all will forever have my heart. I love y'all. That was my original division. Notice how I said original. So yeah. And these people, y'all, I'm not saying that y'all gotta kiss ass or that y'all gotta be besties, but I'm saying you do want to get along with these people, because like you do want to start building relationships with these people, because a lot of people will tell you, oh, your boot camp friends are not gonna matter and this, and some of them won't. It's a lot of people that from boot camp I can't even remember their name if they was to look at me, but there are people who you will be connected with. So it's this one girl came from my division. I'm still cool with her. I'm cool with a lot of people from my old division. So I'm just saying, y'all, I'm not saying you gotta kiss ass and be up in everybody's face, but I'm saying like build connections. Don't come in there like, oh, I'm only focused on one thing. I'm only ready to graduate. Like, that's good and that's a good mindset to have, but at the same time, bro, you're gonna be going to sleep with these people. You gotta shower with these people. Like, you gonna be seeing these people naked, bro. Like, come on. Like, the least you can do is be cordial with them. That's just my opinion. I mean, some people might disagree, but that's my opinion. All right. So anyway, so yeah, you're placed in your division and you just go through boot camp. Now, I personally, like, I feel like there's so many videos, like, talking about other stuff, like, about, like, every week what you do in boot camp. I'm not doing that. So if you're looking for that, sorry, I'm not doing that. I do want to talk about stuff that resonated with me. And so during the first, I think it's the 4th week, sometime during the weeks, you do an RDC assessment. So an RDC assessment is an assessment I'm lying. Let me take y'all back. So it's the beginner one. I don't know what they call that one. I honestly can't remember. But that's where you just do, like, they just want to see where you're at. So you do push-ups, you do a plank, and you run laps. They just want to see where you're at. Like, they're not going to hold you against, they do want you to pass, but they're just trying to see like where you are the moment you get to boot camp. And some people, you know, they've been working out for years, or they've been working out, so they good, like they got it. Other people, they never worked out for real a day in their life. I was one of those people. A push-up, I'm just a girl. I am just a girl. You want me to do 20 push-ups? I'm just a girl, Chief. I'm just a girl. So yeah, so I'm sorry, but yeah. So then that's when, like, a few weeks later, after you done went through a few weeks of training, you do the RDC assessment. Y'all, boot camp for me, none of my parents are military. Let me start off by saying that. None of my parents are military, but my dad and my mom, the way they raised me, when boot camp came around, like the way, like certain things that they did, I'm just like, everybody else was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like having to give up your phone, like not having your phone. Everybody was going through phone withdrawals. I'm over there like, what is wrong with y'all? Because I used to get my phone taken as a teenager, y'all. I mean, the longest I had my phone taken was like the whole 8th grade year, pretty much. So like a good 6-7 months. So I was cool. Like they over there having phone withdrawals. I'm talking every night they crying themselves to sleep. I'm like, and I'm not judging them in any way, because it's harder for other people. But I was just over there like phone withdrawals. Heck no. But yeah, some people ended up having phone withdrawals. Me personally, I didn't. Or there was other stuff that they did, like, okay, y'all, there was a time in boot camp where so in boot camp, you have a backpack, right? That backpack is only supposed to have specific things in there. Why majority of the division, we had like all types of extra notebooks and cute little pictures of our family back home or something, like some type of junk that was not supposed to be in there. Why one day we got back to the division and all our stuff was like in the middle of the floor and like thrown on the table. Everybody and their mama was mad. Me, I'm not even gonna lie, I had something in my backpack that wasn't supposed to be there. Oh well. But yeah, so they started going through our notebooks, and everybody was like mad, like, why they going through my notebook? Like, that's an invasion of privacy. I was just over there like, I done been through this before. Like, or like, if your rack wasn't made properly the way it's supposed to be made, they would take it, strip it down. Like, I'm telling you, like, they would throw everything off of your bed and you would have to remake it. So when stuff like that would happen, like, it never happened to me because my rack was always, I'm not even gonna lie, I hate to be that person, but my rack was always good, baby. Always good. But no, so yeah, so they would like rip your room up, like not your room, but rip your rack apart and all of that. And I was just like, dang. And my mom used to do that. Like, if our rooms looked a mess and like we didn't, like if our rooms, like she told us to clean it and we still didn't clean it and it just looked a mess, she would come in there and she would make it even worse. So now you really got to clean it. So I was just looking at them like, mind you, they over here upset because it's all about discipline for real. Like, boot camp, I'm not saying boot camp was a joke, but like, it was not a joke, y'all, I promise. But it was just like, some of the stuff I was just like, bro, like, what? Or like, they get in your face and start yelling, and I'm just like, bro. I wouldn't say I was a goody two shoes, but let's just say my RDC, which stands for Recruit Division Commander. I was my RDC's favorite. If you see this, hi petty officer. He probably never gonna see this, but you know. So yeah, so I was his favorite, and he told us that I was his favorite. So hold on, before y'all just think I'm assuming, he told the division that I was his favorite. So, but yeah, anyways, that's off topic. So yeah, so then a couple of weeks in, you do the RDC assessment. The RDC assessment, you have to run a certain amount of laps, I believe, for the amount for, and each age group has a different time. So if you're like 18, I believe your time is 15:15. I don't remember if that's with the buffer or not. I'm not too sure about the times, okay? Is it 16:15? It's something like, and I believe the older you are, the more time you have, something. Then you have to do a certain amount of push-ups. You have to do a certain amount of push-ups by us, like you have to do a certain amount of push-ups at the age group. So this is something I remember. So I'm 18. Well, I was 18 when I joined. So I had to do 20 push-ups. My plank time, I had to do 1 minute and 30 seconds. Y'all, while on my RDC assessment, the girl who did my push-ups, she put out only did 1 push-up. And and the reason why I said it like that, it was because, like, girl, you know, you could have boosted my numbers a little bit, but whatever. But yeah, so she said I only did 1 push-up. So my RDC assessment, my run time was like, I'm not a runner. Like, I'm not a runner. To this day, I'm still not a runner. So, like, my run time, that was kind of like, that's understandable. But my push-up time, my push-ups, I only had 1 push-up. And my plank time was like 30 or 45 seconds. Like I said, I had never worked out a day before in my life before then. So my RDC, the one I said I was his favorite, he pulled me aside and he said, I don't want to asthma you. I'm going to tell y'all what that means in a minute. He was like, I don't want to asthma you, but you need to do better on your scores. I'm sorry, petty officer. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So asthma. Asthma means they hold you back in boot camp. So you get pushed back in boot camp. So this was about week 4. So in week 5, that's when you do your RDC assessment. At the time, the RDC assessment, you had a 90-second buffer. I know that for a fact. I cannot remember. I believe it's like 14:45 is the time you have to have. And your buffer took you to 16:15. 16:15. Something, I believe it's that. So boom. So the RDC assessment comes around the second time. The RDC assessment comes around. Mind you, my push-ups, so I told you I only did 1 push-up, right? I started working on my push-ups because my petty officer pulled me aside. And when he said that really motivated me because it was like he saw me. He believed in me. So, of course, I'm going to go hard because now I got people rooting for me. Like, of course, I got people back home rooting for me, but it just felt better. Like, it was like that connection. So, yeah. So, I'm working on my push-ups every night. I'm asking the girls in my compartment. I'm like, can y'all help me, please? Like, can we do this, please? Let's lock in. And that's what they did. We came together and we locked in. So I ended up taking my 1 push-up and now I was at a good like 45. I went from 1 push-up to 45 in a week. I don't know how, but I did. I promise you, I really locked in. So yeah, I brought my plank time up. The only thing I didn't have was that run. I'm not even gonna lie, I did not have that run. And that was because the main reason was because I started feeling pain. Everybody at boot camp would tell you, don't go to medical, don't go to medical, don't go to medical. And I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you what I think, but I'm not gonna tell you right now. So yeah, so the makeup for RDC assessment comes around, boom. I do my push-ups and my planks and I knock it out the park. I got it. I got it. The run time came around. Mind you, while I was at boot camp, I was the laundry petty officer. I was the LPO. So in boot camp, you get different roles. You could be the laundry petty officer. You could be the store. I can't remember like the actual name, but it's like the janitor petty officer. That's like I can't think the hazard petty officer. Like you're in charge of the chemicals that we use to clean and stuff. I cannot remember what that was called. You got the RPOC, which is the main, it's pretty much the HBIC, the head bitch in charge. It's like the person responsible for everything. They do the marching, like they hold the flag. I'm sorry, I do not know how to describe RPOC, but yeah. Then you have APOC. It's a part. It's something. Why can I not remember? It's not, it has not been that long. But it's like, yeah. That's the person, that's the second person in charge. Like that's the RPOC sidekick. Like they're the ones who sing. So like if you ever watch any marching videos or like graduation videos for boot camp, for Navy boot camp specifically, that person that's like 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, you're 1, 2. The person doing like the cadence, that's A-pop, I believe. Is it? Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. Then you have like your section leaders, yada, yada, yada. Personally, I cannot remember all the jobs, but I say go do it, get a job in boot camp. Cause why not? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Some of those jobs you could get out of some IT. You ain't hear from me though. But yeah. So I was the laundry petty officer. Like, I took my role serious, okay? I made sure the laundry was done. Like, when I became laundry petty officer, I got shit done, boy. What's that sound? I get shit done, boy. But no, seriously, like, I truly got stuff done. So, yeah. Back to the RDC assessment. Oh, and I was Yum petty officer. That's not like a real job in boot camp, but y'all, I always knew when chow was that day, okay? I used to look at that schedule every morning, and I knew when chow was, okay? I was Yum petty officer. Y'all better ask about me, okay, baby? So, petty officer, we would be outside in the middle of marching or something, and he was like, Yum PO. Yes, petty officer. What time is chow? 17:15, petty officer. Like, like, yeah, that was me, okay? I always knew chow. Chow was like lunch or dinner or breakfast or something, by the way. But yeah, I always knew when it was time to eat, okay? Never missed a meal. But yeah, so I wasn't like as big as RPOC, but I did have like responsibilities when it came down to the division. So RDC assessment came around and I failed by 1 second. The makeup RDC assessments came by and my runtime, which was mandatory, I failed by 1 second. With the buffer, I was supposed to have 16:15. I had 16:16. Bro, when I tell y'all that broke my heart, I'm not even gonna lie. This video making me seem like I'm a narcissist or like I'm conceited. But no, I swear. That video broke a lot of people's hearts. That time broke a lot of people's hearts, okay? It broke my heart the most. It broke my RDC heart. I had my two best friends, Julian and Bryant. That broke their heart because they passed their test. I didn't. Bro, that broke so many hearts. Getting ASMO'd was heartbreaking, bro. It wasn't just me, by the way. A couple of girls in my division got ASMO'd. Being ASMO'd, bro, that genuinely broke my heart. Like, I don't think I still haven't recovered. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm out the military and everything, but that joint still. So yeah, I failed by 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Mind you, my RDC, the one, like, that was my favorite RDC and I was his favorite. He literally told me like the day or two before the RDC assessment, he said, Herndon, he was like, Herndon, if you don't pass that RDC assessment before I ASMO you, I'm gonna beat your ass. Petty officer, what? No, what do you mean you gonna beat my ass? Mind you, hold on though. They said the RDC assessment, they said once we get the people, because after the RDC assessment, the division, your RDC cannot beat you for a week. I don't know if I heard that some RDCs don't go by that rule, whatever. That's not my business. But anyways, our RDCs did go by that rule. Y'all, why? So because of that, after the RDC assessment, if you did pass, you was gonna come back and get your ass whooped anyway. So it was like, I was getting my ass whooped either way. Like, I was getting my ass beat either way. So I was like, hey, officer, like, please. Like they do this thing where they pull out the red card on your ass, like it is, and they call it ice cream social, bro. What do you mean, ice cream social? So yeah, so then that's when like so when I came back, they asked me, they was like, Makai, no, not Makai. They was like, Herndon, what was your time? I said 6. No, I'm lying. They already knew our time. So when we got back to the compartment, like back to our ship, my RDC came in. Mind you, the way my rack was, you could see me from the door, like from the doorway. So he got to the doorway. He said, 1 second, Herndon. Bro, I bust out in tears again. I had already been crying, but I bust out in tears again because, oh my God. What do you mean? I'm not even gonna lie, that was pure heartbreak, bro. I'm not over that. I think I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight because, bro, 1 second. I'm sorry. Anyways, so yeah, so then that's when, so you got ASMO. ASMO mean you went to a whole different division. When you go to a whole different division, you're pushed back in training. I was supposed to graduate November 23rd. My new graduation date was December 16th. And like, I got pushed back. So I was already on week 5 of training. I got pushed back to week 2 of training. So my new division was 004. Y'all. And mind you, they were changing the rules as like we got to, like, as boot camp was going on, they were constantly changing the rules. So this new division, I mean, they were off the chain. Their bro division, they didn't even like the bro division. Like, it was a whole lot. Like, they was arguing every night. Like, bro, it was a lot. Like, when you first get to boot camp, do not come in there thinking you're going to get a good amount of sleep or some good rest. Because no, that's not how that works, boo-boo. It's not, okay? You got to go through the argument phase. There are going to be people who do not, there are going to be people who do not want to go to sleep. They want to talk their heads off. They want to be in a head where it echoes and talk their head off. Like, they want to be up all night. Then you got people who don't play about their sleep, so they're gonna be going at it like, shut up. Like, they're gonna be going across compartments like, girl, shut up, bitch, who you talking to? Da, 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 da. There is going to be arguing. It's up to your compartment to like learn how to come together as a whole, and it takes a few weeks. I'm not even gonna lie, it takes a few weeks. So don't come in there thinking you gonna get good sleep immediately. No, you not. So yeah. So they were still in the argument phase, and it was just like, so all of the people who got asthma with me, we all looking at each other like, bro, like, get it together. And so I was in 004 for about a week. I can't remember. I don't think I did my RDC assessment with them. I can't even lie, I'm not sure. So yeah. But remind y'all, I told y'all that my run time started getting like, it wasn't the best because I was in pain. So it was about like, I stayed at that division for like a week or two. And when I'm telling you, we would be marching places, but it would hurt so bad to march. Like, bro, I couldn't even walk for real. Like, I was in pain, like unbearable pain. I had never experienced nothing like that. But everybody had always told me, don't go to medical, don't go to medical. It was at that point where I had to make the decision. I said, I'm going to medical. I'm going to medical. So I ended up going to medical. They had to take me to the hospital and whatnot. They did bone scans, x-rays, something. I believe I had a bone scan. They said, people was telling me, like, from like older divisions, they was telling me, if you hear a bone scan, you're fucked. I'm not even gonna lie, gang. What lawyer say? I'm not gonna yai. You're fucked. I'm not gonna yai. If you hear bone scan, baby, you gotta make the decision to stay in boot camp or leave, cause yeah. So I got a bone scan. They told me they was gonna get my results in a couple of days. Cool. I get back to my division. I'm still in pain. They put me on limited duty. I was LD. Division over there getting beat over stupid stuff. I'm not getting beat because I'm LD. Mind you, as soon as I came back, when I did my bone scan, they gave me crushes off the rip. Okay, baby? They said, and the man gonna sit there and lie to me, talk about something. Oh, you only gonna have these crutches on for a day or two, and then you gonna be off them. You is a lie. You is a lie. What was his name? Dr. Stefanov. You are a lie. He lied to me, bro. And I'm not even gonna lie, I believe that man. Low key, I kind of believed him. But, yeah, I ended up being on crutches, and it was awkward because I'm the only, I don't think I was the only person, but in the compartment, I wasn't the only person on crutches, but in my division, I was the only person on crutches. So I had people who would help me, like some people would only help me because that mean that they could take the elevator and not the stairs. But you know, we're not gonna talk about that though. But yeah, so I ended up having to take the elevator because obviously I can't go up and down the stairs, and that was a whole thing. Like, yeah, somebody had to carry my tray because they don't want me carrying it. But sometimes I hate feeling like a burden to people, so I would I would grab my tray sometimes and they would chew me out. Not the RDCs, but my friends would chew me out. Like, what are you doing? Give me your tray. Like, you know you're not supposed to have your tray. My fault, twin. Like, my bad. But yeah. So then that's when I got my results back, and come to find out I had stress fractures. If you hear you got stress fractures in boot camp, Bookie, I had stress fractures. That's when they told me that I was going to RCU. What is RCU? What is RCU? It's Recruit Convalescent Unit. Some people think it stands for Recruit Care Unit. I promise you it don't. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up just to prove to y'all. I promise you it don't. I don't know why that irritates me, but it's like, bro, it don't mean care unit. So anyway, sorry y'all. But yeah, so they told me I was going to RCU. I got back to the compartment and I'm crying my ass off. I'm looking at my RDCs. Mind you, I only been in that division for like a good week or two. They don't know me like that, so they looking at me like, get it together, bro. Like, what are you crying for? So yeah, so me and my friends, we packing my stuff, but at the same time, like they crying, we crying, like we all crying, like, dang, Micaiah, you gone. They told me I'm gonna be in RCU for 3 months. They asked me if I wanted to go home. I said no. I wanna stick it through. I wanna keep going. I'm not even gonna lie, that's where I messed up at. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, that's where I messed up at. Kinda, not really. Like I said, I don't regret the Navy at all. So yeah, so I go to RCU. It's a whole different ball game. Okay, I walked in there. It's broken people. Like, don't take offense to this, but like, it was broken people. Like, they got crutches hanging up. What? Somebody was in a wheelchair. I'm like, bro, what? But they was coloring and stuff, bro. What? So yeah, that was RCU. RCU is pretty much where you go to heal. So if you get injured while you in boot camp, that's where you go to heal. If you cannot swim or something, you go to that compartment. Like if you fail your swim test and it's time for you to graduate, that's where you go. You go like in the RCU, like that type of compartment. That's where you go. Yeah, what happened? So I was in there. I met the best people in my life. Like, honestly, I met the best people in my life. Like, I like I told y'all, I do not regret the Navy. Like, I met so many beautiful people in there. It was so many different personalities. I was already learning how to work with people, but that's where I truly learned how to work with people, okay? Like, I genuinely, like, met some good people. Like, I cannot complain. I met good people. So, what happened? I'm trying to like kind of speed this up because I do got to go in 15 minutes. But yeah, so I was in RCU. I was in boot camp overall. You're only supposed to be in boot camp for 2 months. maybe 2.5, maybe 3. I can't remember. I think it's 3 months. Yeah, you're only supposed to be in boot camp for like 10 weeks. That's a good 2.5 months. I was in boot camp for 7 months. I spent 7 months in boot camp. Majority of that time being when I was in RCU. In RCU, I was healing myself. Like I was doing physical therapy. I went to RCU October 24th. I failed my RDC assessment October 4th. I got asthma October 4th. I went to RCU October 24th, 2022. I got out of RCU in March of 2023. I spent Christmas. I spent Thanksgiving. I spent Christmas. I spent Halloween. I spent Valentine's Day. I spent it all in boot camp. So when I first got to RCU was real chill, okay? Talk about some RDCs. Should I put that in there? I don't know. It was just a real chill vibe. I don't want to, like, because I don't want to, like, I don't know. I put a bad name. I don't know. I'm feeling weird about adding that information. So, yeah. But RCU was real chill. I ended up like still doing certain responsibilities. Like I ended up like still joining the laundry team. I met some weird girls, like all types of stuff. Like I met cool girls, weird girls, girls you could tell never been away from like their family, girls who were always away from their family. Like I met a lot of people. I met some different people, different personalities. Yeah. So time is going by and you start to see like it's a couple of people who because we're all on different like phases and levels of boot camp of RCU. So some people are on level 4 and that means that they're about to get out of RCU in the next 2-3 days. Then you got some people who are on level 3, so they got like a couple of weeks. Then you got some people on level 1 who's still on crutches and they not getting out no time soon. They got like 3 more months. So as you are seeing that, like you starting to see so many people like go advance to like higher levels, and like eventually the girls that you met, they end up being like, they end up leaving and going back to a division and graduating, and they might, depending on how cool they was with you, they might come back and visit you or visit RCU. At first RCU was kind of lonely because I was by myself, but then I'm not trying to be happy, but then that's when a girl from my division came. She came from my original division 416. She got asthma with me to division 004, and now she was in RCU with me. Her name is Gamora. No, we say her last name all the wrong. It's technically Gamara, but we say it wrong. We say Gamora, but it's technically Gamara. So Gamara, that was my girl. Like I was familiar with her. I knew her. Like, so we ended up being in RCU together for real. Then that's when Gamara, by maybe December, I think, she said, no, I'm not doing this no more. So she ended up leaving and getting separated. So they offered to separate me. I told them, no, I want to stick it through. And so I did. Then that is when December came around and I ended up like on level 2, level 3, and I was off my crutches. Like I was doing fine. I was the M.I.A, so that was the master at arms. So that means I was pretty much I pretty much told people to be quiet. And I was the police pretty much for RCU. Because remember how I said you got jobs in boot camp? It was the same way. Dang, my battery about to die now. I might have to finish this after I come back. But yeah. So I ended up being M.I.A. Then that's when in December when I advanced to level 2, meaning my camera is fully charged. I had to go run my errand and do a couple of things, and now I'm back. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I cannot remember where I left off at. Anyways, Okay, so I spent the holidays there. So back in okay, so in these so I was MA, right? Then that is when this is all happening in December. It is now December. Holidays is come like the Thanksgiving already passed. Now it's Christmas. Christmas? Really? Christmas? And I'm still here. I'm still in this place. I was supposed to graduate December 16th. Still ain't graduate. I'm here again. It's like jail. Not literally, but like literally like jail. Like so yeah. So then that is when oh, so at the time I was MA, and the RPOC at the time, they were about to, they did, a couple of people didn't like the RPOC, but I liked her. Like, she was cool. She was real laid back. Like, she really, that's not important. Anyways, I was MA and I was doing good. And then that is when I had advanced to level 2, so I was no longer on my crutches. Mind you, I stuck to my treatment plan, okay? They told me I needed to use my crutches. I used my crutches. At first, I didn't use my crutches, not that much. But then I locked in and I got serious because I was like, bro, I got to get out of here. I just want to graduate. I just want to be in the Navy. I ended up starting to use my crutches more. So then that is when, what happened? Oh, so then that is when I started being in a lot of pain. I started being in a lot of pain again. But this time, the pain was different. My entire right leg would go completely numb. It would go completely numb. And I would have like this pain in like my right hip and in my right butt cheek. My bad. My right buttock. That sounds weird. My right butt cheek and my right hip. That's where the pain was. It was like a shooting pain. And then my right leg completely numb. I could not feel myself walking on it. Like it hurt so bad. It hurt when I sit. It hurt when I stand. It just hurt completely. I tried to thug it out, but it was one day I just broke down crying. Like I just sobbed. My RDCs, like some of the other people that was in there like were checking on me, and then my RDC seen me. I got sent to the hospital. Not medical, I got sent to the hospital. I had to go through the ambulance, not the ambulance, like the duty van and everything, and they dropped me off at the hospital. So I went to the hospital, I went to the emergency room, and come to find out I had sciatica, which is a pinched nerve. If you know, you know, it's a pinched nerve. They gave me steroids, and not on top of that, on top of me having sciatica, I ended up having, my stress fractures ended up coming back. They came back, and they came back 10 times worse. So instead of being on level 2 like I was supposed to be, I ended up being on level 1. Talk about devastated, because now that means I'm not getting out of here. I thought I would have got out of here by maybe January, February. Now I'm not getting out here till when? Boom. However, my doctor said, okay, like we're just gonna cut it down since you've already been, like we just gonna, so yeah, I ended up like, instead of 3 weeks, I did 2 weeks or something. But anyways, yeah. Then around December, January, the end of December, beginning of January, like New Year's Eve, New Year's, like we spent Christmas. They made holiday meals, like, yeah. Then that is when we ended up, I ended up becoming RPOC of RCU. Y'all, I hope somebody who used to watch my video, I mean, not watch my videos, but who used to be in RCU with me, I hope y'all comment. Let them know that I was the best RPOC. I was a good RPOC. Y'all can't tell me I wasn't. So, no. But anyways, yeah, I became RPOC. And my biggest thing was everybody in RCU just making it fun for them. Like, we going through a lot. Like, we got pulled out of training. We don't know when we're going to be able to graduate, if we're even going to graduate, because there were some girls who ended up saying like, no, I don't want to do this. And they got separated. And I mean, that was real. That was that. So yeah. Anyways, RCU, yeah, I ended up making like very close, good friends. And then that's when, I had a group of friends. They ended up leaving in January. Talk about devastated, because, bro, that was my girls. M.I.A, my M.I.A. I still talk to M.I.A, and I still talk to Coleman. Maya's last name is Johnson, and I will always call Johnson. I know she's gonna watch this video. She might. I don't know. It's a long video, so I don't know. But yeah, Johnson. And then there was also Coleman and Henson, and yeah, and we were a group. And then, but they had been in RCU longer than me, so it was their time. It was honestly their time. Like, they had been in there since June and they got out in January. So it was honestly their time. So at the same time, like, yes, I was sad like that my girls was leaving. At the same time, I was proud of them because, like, they finally made it out. So yeah, so they ended up leaving and I was devastated. You know, now I'm really like, bro, I don't even want to be here. I want to be here, but I don't want to be here. But then I ended up getting closer with another group, and it was Holmes, Allgood, Adolphus, Enriquez, and Harris. Yeah, that's a lot of names. I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, so we were all cool. Then that's when so the way that went, right? Literally, it was more girls, by the way. Those were just like the main ones. Crooks. Like, there were more people. So if you see this and I didn't mention your name, I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry. You know I love you. But yeah, so they ended up all leaving. And not only did they all leave at the same time, they went to the same group. They went to the same division. Or like they went to a brother and sister division. Talk about devastated. Oh my God. Like, that was... The reason behind that was because of that pinched nerve, because I had grown my stress fractures, and because I was still in pain, because I was being honest with my doctor, and I told him, I said, I'm still in pain. And so my treatment was a little different. But then I started seeing that everybody else was like graduating or getting out of RCU. And I said, man, forget that pain. Like, just let me go. Like, let me go. Like, I'll figure it out when it get down to it, but let me go. My doctor was not going for that. So, my trainer wasn't going for that. Because you get personal trainers, like, yeah. My trainer was not going for that. So, anyway, so then that's when, like, I ended up being devastated. Mind you, I'm RPOC, right? I ended up having, I'm not gonna put that. So I ended up getting in trouble. I know, getting in trouble in boot camp and RCU, it sounds what? Like, I ended up getting in trouble and losing my RPOC status. But it was like, I never asked to be RPOC anyway, so I truly wasn't tripping. Like, RPOC was cool, but all that responsibility, I just wanted to chill. Like, what? So, yeah, I ended up getting in some trouble. And I lost my RPOC status. Cool, whatever. Like, anyways, then that's when, like, I just ended up I low-key got depressed. Like, that was my first time truly being depressed in boot camp. My second time. I truly was depressed. Like, it was just like, bro, like, I don't want to be here. I don't care about nobody. Like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't even want to eat. Like, leave me alone. And so one of the petty officers there, Petty Officer Tarver, that was a good one. Like, I wish that I still kept in contact with that petty officer, because that RDC, that was a good one too. Her name was, Petty Officer Tarver. So Petty Officer Tarver was like, just go get SIQ. And that's what I did. I went to go get SIQ for like 3 days. I went to go get a COVID test, right? Mind you, I'm cooling, because like I was complaining, like my body hurt, like I'm just tired, like I'm fed up, I don't want to do nothing, I don't care about nothing. So she was like, okay, go get SIQ, like go get you some rest days, like get yourself together. Mind you, my friends are leaving, they're packing up, like they're gone. I'm like, bro, what? Then that's when I ended up getting SIQ. And the way you could get SIQ means second quarters. And that means you got to stay in your rack the whole entire time. I ended up getting COVID tested. Cool. I got COVID tested. They like, I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? Mind you, I've never had COVID before. Never. So I'm like, whatever. Y'all, why I'm going downstairs, like I'm not thinking nothing of it, like what? Y'all, come to find out, why did these people tell me, like I went all the way to like the child line, like where we supposed to eat at, and it was like No, Herndon needs to be back in the compartment. Herndon needs to be back in the compartment. She in the compartment. She has COVID. What? What do you mean I have COVID? So now I got COVID. And you know what that means. I had to, for a week straight, I was off. Like I couldn't do nothing. Cool. You want to know why I was cool? Because my birth mom I ended up having her send me some hair. And you probably like, hair? Yes, I had her send me some hair. So I ended up doing my box. Like the first few days I actually did sleep. But then I was over it. Like, bro, I did not feel sick. Besides my body hurting, but my body was hurting for other things. But I did not feel sick whatsoever. Like at all. Like I did not feel sick. So for me to have COVID, it was like, what? Like... So yeah, I ended up like I had to isolate. I was all the way at the back of the compartment. Mind you, all the racks is up here. I'm all the way over in the corner. So I was isolated. Like everybody thought I really had COVID and didn't nobody want to get sick. So they all avoided me. So bro, I'm just sitting in the rack like, bro, like what is life? So yeah, I ended up, so that set me back some more. So now I'm not leaving at this day because I got COVID. So now I'm here. I'm stuck longer. Mind you, my friends already graduated. So I was sick, okay? I was sick, like going through it. Like what? Like I honestly, in that moment, I wanted to give up. I did. I wanted to give up. Anyways, because I need to wrap up this RCU. I ended up like feeling better. And then I went to my physical therapy the next day. And I like, when I got off SIQ and I was just like, bro, like, can I run? And he was like, no, you can run next time only. And that was fair. That was fair. So I ended up running. Okay. So you're probably wondering, what do you mean running? In order to get out of RCU, you have to do your RDC assessment or your OPFA. You have to do that physical test so that they know that you're ready to go back to training. Y'all, my run time went from 16:16 to 20:16. I will be honest. I ran and did my thing because they said they don't care about your run time as long as you're not in pain. So I said, you know what? I'm over it. Like I just want to graduate. So I ended up running and I was in so much pain, but I just wanted to graduate. So I ended up telling him I had no pain, even though my time went from 16:16 to 20:16. He knew I was lying. Everybody knew I was lying, but they all understood like I wanted to go. And because I was like the last person to get out. When I tell you all those new people had been in boot camp for maybe, they had only been in there for 3 months. I was in there for I was the only one who was in there for like a good 5-6 months at this point. So they all looking at me like, this girl crazy. Like, why is she still here? So yeah, so I ended up just like, I want to go. They ended up putting me back in training, and I ended up in division. What was the number? Oh, 081. That was the division I graduated. Go 081, period. Yeah, so I ended up going to 081 and I finished training. Like I finished training. I finished training with them. Mind you, I'm still in so much pain. Like my legs still hurt. And it was so crazy how much pain I ended up being in that we had finished boot camp. Like we did battle stations. We did the OPFA. We did that. We did everything we needed to graduate. All I needed to do was graduate. Y'all, while I went in my RDC office and I broke down crying like, bro, I'm still in pain. Like, I don't know if I could do this. She was like, well, I understand. Like, she was actually, this was my first time really having like a one-on-one conversation with her. And she was just like, just push through. You can go to medical and they'll probably put you in THU. You don't have to, yeah, she was just telling me, like, you probably go to THU, like, don't freak out, like, they're not going to hold you back longer, like, you finished everything, you completed it. Because that was my biggest concern, like, what if they put me back in RCU after I done already finished everything and still. But yeah, I don't know if I went to medical or not. Anyways, I ended up graduating. I graduated April, was it April? It was April 7th, I believe. I'm sorry, y'all, I got to double check because I want to get my facts right. April 7th. All right, I graduated April 7th. Little ceremony, cute, cute, cute. You know, Liberty Call, boom. I had a bonus. I had a 10K bonus on top of that. You know, sitting in RCU, they still paying you. So I ended up stacking up some money, man. Talk about balling. Talk about who splurged out shopping. Yeah. Anyways, they didn't. A lot of people who come from RCU end up going to, what's that place called? End up going to THU. I did not go to THU. I ended up going straight to A school. So after I graduated the next day, I was on a flight and I was going to A school. Like I said, I'm a CS, so my A school was in Fort Lee, Virginia. Now we're going to talk about A school. I wonder if I should separate this into different, whatchamacallit, into like different videos. Like I talked about boot camp and now I'm going to talk about A school. I don't know. I'm gonna stop it here and then I'm gonna go on